Welcome to Part 5 in Parts. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And this is our Part 5 Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Anime Discussion Podcast.
By Arcs.
By Arcs.
And this one's a 4-part episode, so it took a damn month before we had one.
Yeah. I didn't want to... Obviously how we do this normally. We always separate it by arc, so we wanted to wait. This might be the only time that I think we've had to wait an entire... Is it the only time we've had to wait an entire...
We got, I think, probably a month, because we got the 3, I think, with the most, like, Metallica, I think, with, like, 3. Stuff like that. But, yeah, we're back with basically covering the Going to Rome and Green Day Oasis, or Green Tea and Sanctuary.
Green Tea and Sanctuary. So... the episodes in question... Sorry, I'm pulling that up. Should have had this ready beforehand.
Yeah, I think...
So the episodes in question are episodes 29 through 32, which the first one is called Get to the Roman Colosseum, as opposed to, any other Colosseum that's known as the Colosseum. And then the others were just Green Day and Oasis, part 1 through 3.
Yep.
Or as you fucking said, Green Tea and Sanctuary?
I don't mind. I think Green Tea is great.
Green Tea is hilarious.
Sanctuary is very weird.
Sanctuary doesn't work. I guess, what else would you have chosen?
Maybe this one should have been Underground.
It's funny because there's a part in the, at least in the subtitles, where I think Bruno's like, he's going underground, and I was like, is that a part 6 reference?
Oh, by the way, we do talk about other future parts of JoJo in this.
Thank you.
Don't worry, that's not very important in part 6.
Yeah.
It's literally not.
Thank you for mentioning. Yes, we do spoil all the parts of JoJo up to current year.
Yes.
Yeah, even though, as you said, that is not a relevant
he's a lame-o.
spoiler.
He's a lame-o, don't worry.
Yeah, he's one of the worst ones. But and I know, not to go totally off track.
Because when I hear Oasis, though, I think of like something for water related, or like
Oasis?
Desert, or like something like a desert, but not like a mud, like ground person.
Yeah, I don't know. When I think of Oasis, I get like mud colors in my head, like browns and grays. So maybe I think that kind of works.
It's kind of like a bright place in the desert where you find like a weird like little thing of water, it's kind of like a mirage, but actually being there.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's probably one of the harder ones. Where what was it before? What? Clash. Clash was what do you call that? Like transliterated? No, the name that they chose was Crash, which is hilarious, and it works because when Japanese people pronounce Clash, they say it with the R. So they say every time. What's his face? I forget his name. He would always say crush, crush you, and it sounded perfect, and it was really funny. But Sanctuary was a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know. They do what they gotta do, I guess.
Yeah, nothing will ever beat
Flaccid Pancake.
Flaccid Pancake, who actually one of our commenters, I noticed a comment is named Flaccid Pancake.
Good.
Every time I see, I always gives me a chuck.
It's a good name. Between that and Filthy Axe. Filthy
Axe at a Reasonable Price is one of the best. Also because it is like the best stamp. But okay,
it's the best stamp, but it's hilarious because it's such a long name.
Uh-huh.
They actually shorten it in the manga where they could easily just throw that in there.
And D4C is iconic.
It's good.
D4C is a great.
But so basically, let's start with the first episode. We get the introduction to the stand arrow.
Yes,
mystery.
Which I was hyped about because, like, I remember when I was reading part 5, having them explain the stand arrow was such like a big moment.
It's weird,
and the way they did it was really cool too. I don't know if you noticed or if you remember
the imagery.
Yeah, but they had it. They had like the sides of the screen had like that classic kind of film, like it was a film reel. And it looked like it was archival footage because they talk about how in like the 60s or something, maybe even before that, there was like pretty much Araki just rips the thing off again, where it's like, okay, there's something in like this frozen wasteland and there's like an evil monster alien.
Something crash landed and it was like a virus. That's what it was. And like if your immune system worked well to conquer the virus, you gotta stand essentially.
Which, okay, so I think this is a good thing to talk about. So I kind of hate this. This kind of is just midichlorians.
It is midichlorians. It is 100% midichlorians before Wait.
No, it was after midichlorians. Because this would have been...
99?
It started in 99. Wait, did it? Fuck, I wish we had... I know that part 4 ended ended like around that time. And part 5 takes place in 2001.
Yeah, I know that.
So at this point later on, because it takes them a couple of years to put the manga out, so definitely this would have been midichlorians after midichlorians.
Let's see. Cover with issue with 98.
98.
And then you go up recess with an issue of not issue.
The issue of Star Wars that George Lucas published.
I know the anniversary came
It's 1999. I think it's May, because don't they always come out in May? I remember I was a little baby boy. My mom took me to see Star Wars Episode 1.
As a little kid, I did not like Episode 1 or 2. I thought Darth Maul was cool as a kid, and that was it.
It's really funny because...
99.
No, yes, what 99?
May 19th, 1999.
I am a genius.
So George Lucas ripped off Araki.
Wait, so that issue? You said that issue?
98.
Wow, okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
It is like poetry. So yeah, okay. The thing that I find weird about it is that, to me, stands are like a supernatural, like, manifestation of your spirit.
Yeah, I always felt like the arrow was just a way to get it out of you, where you can, like, you know, it had before people developed it at a young age. Yes. You didn't have to use the arrow to get it. But this one kind of seems like, you know, the arrow was the reason. I'm not sure how that explains.
It kind of retcons. I really like the idea of activating a stand naturally.
I'm pretty sure Polnareff and Kakun were also born with their stands.
Yes, Polnareff. We actually had a commenter a while back who explained that Polnareff had his stand. They say it's ambiguous. They say that he had it before Dio. So, like, I think they might have headcanoned that it was
did too. Cause I remember, I think that later flashback of him as a child, and like he had it as well. Yeah. So, I don't know. I really like the idea of awakening it naturally, especially since Jotaro and everyone except Jolene awakens to it naturally. Yeah, even though like everybody
through bloodline.
Yeah, once Dio like did the arrow, everybody kind of happened, or they got a sickness and then developed it later, like Josuke did.
Yes.
But yeah, Jolene I guess had that thing with Josuke, but I guess she didn't like.
She needed a fragment. Jolene needed a fragment of the arrow. Yeah, literally like a kickstart.
It was so weird. I forgot. It's like it's something you just kind of forget about, and like. That was also in part 6 when like it wasn't really a stand from early on. It was like an ability she would have. Part
6, yeah. Before really, yeah. Which I thought was really cool, but as I said, I do
bring that found work for part 7 for the most part.
Yeah, and it does kind of seem like with the backstory of the stand arrow that this is how stands happen. This is how you get a stand. The stand is a weird like alien tool that is unlocked when you're alien tool. The arrow is an alien tool.
It's an alien virus that like that part of like where it came from, like the meteorite or wherever the metal that was on it. Someone forged it into arrows. And the bow was just there, the gimmick, I guess.
Yeah. The bow was just a way to facilitate shooting it into someone.
Yeah. It's interesting though.
It is. I think it is very interesting.
It's weird. It's JoJo. It's weird, but like I can see how it like people don't like that reasoning of it just being like a virus and not like part of a person, their fighting spirit, their soul, that kind of thing.
Because then I know this is like the worst can of worms to open up, but like, so then why did when Kira stabbed himself, did he get a new ability? Why does when when Giorno gets stabbed early in part 5, nothing happens. And then in the end of part 5, when he stabbed himself with the quote-unquote Requiem arrow, that doesn't... Because I know the Requiem arrow is different.
Yeah.
It literally is a different arrow.
He is saying this arrow holds the key or whatever throughout this episode.
Yeah.
But another thing with the arrow, because like it works on humans, it works on vampires.
Yes, and animals.
And animals.
We know that it works on any living being. Well, if vampires are living beings...
Well, see, Dio can regenerate, so I feel like a virus would just been like... Because the vampire system maybe would have healed like the virus out.
Well, so the big thing with Dio...
He also had Jonathan's body, so I'm guessing that was the reason why. But then again, the vampireness took over. I guess even Vanilla Ice got transformed into a vampire at the end. And had to stand.
That's actually... Vanilla Ice is a better point than Dio.
I guess he already had to stand before that, maybe, and then he just carried it over to his vampireness.
Who fucking knows? Because technically, they aren't really vampires. Let's be real. Let's remember our canon. The mask, what is it? The
stone mask.
The stone mask unlocks like your next evolution.
Yeah.
So even though like the whole point of Haman is that it is light energy and destroys whatever.
He was also able to make like zombies and like do weird signs of like head reattaching and.
Yeah, that's because he became like a fucking god.
It's stupid. He resurrects bodies.
How dare you? The end of part 1 is awesome.
I know it's awesome. Just like the weird supernatural like monster rules of just like the vampire rules in Jojo are ridiculous.
Yeah, they're very weird. He really sort of amalgamizes a lot of just kind of a Western horror into just vampire.
Everything into a crock pot and you're like, that's good enough.
Yeah, especially any sort of like cold Western horror.
Eye lasers, cold veins that can freeze people instantaneously.
Sam, they're not eye lasers. They're Space Ripper stingy eyes.
Shut up.
You should know that. And it's not lasers. It's actually pressurized eye fluid.
Shut up.
It's real.
This is real. It happened.
All right, okay, let's keep talking.
We go from we get the explanation, go to Rome.
We had the mysterious voice on the radio,
the mysterious stranger.
Laptop rather, who we know.
So yeah,
you're in the know.
Yeah, and then they go there and they encounter the mole, which is probably the bloodiest stand battle in JoJo yet. I'm not saying in the future, all JoJo, up to the point.
It definitely has the most victims that we see on screen. I can't think of.
Wait, also you guys see.
Did the fly kill everyone in the airplane?
Pretty much everybody but our main characters.
So the fly, even though he's like the most forgotten stand.
Well, also Grateful Dead and Beach Boy probably killed like that entire train.
Yes, that's true.
But they you actually can see smoke in the distance. They cause accidents across Rome, so you're assuming
hundreds, if not thousands, were killed. And we see how quickly, like, to me, the most horrifying thing about Green Day is, like, it's instantaneous. Like, your body just, like, evaporates.
Yeah. It's, like, I want to talk about it more once we get toward, like, the last episode of this, talk about, like, how interesting the stands, this one especially subverts your expectations, but I want to go into that a little later.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the mole, it's also a good convenience to censor in the anime, so...
So, I have a couple hot takes, maybe, or just negative opinions, I guess we'll call them.
Wait, first off,
I don't like the way the mold looks. I think it looks poor.
It's weird. I mean, I figure they're gonna kind of go with that kind of glow to it.
It just has like, I don't know. I always have a problem when things don't look cohesive. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the times we see CG used, even like some of the background buildings in Part 5 will be CG, and it looks. If it's not CG, they're badly composited. It just doesn't look good.
It's more so like cities like Rome and like Venice, like the big like cities with a bunch of buildings. Like,
anytime they recreate like an actual area. So anytime they mix that with like our main characters are never CG. They're always hand drawn.
Yeah, and Narantia is the only thing that had like a CG stand.
Yes. But thank God. It's just like thank God.
So what do you think when you read it? Did you like Green Day and Oasis reading it?
I think I liked reading it better than watching it. I did like it. I think everyone likes the Green Day part the most.
Yeah, I think Green Day part was I love watching that animated.
It was really cool.
This is like a stand that I think it probably works better among because we talk about some of them like Metallica works because it has suspense and it works in anime. Where this one like the manga thing of like just seeing stuff like panel by panel breaking apart and stuff like that. It like.
And so something in manga in particular that doesn't translate well into anime is a lot of times negative space in manga or backgrounds will just be left blank when we're focusing on the character's action. And this is really jumping ahead, but all of Bruno's fighting with Oasis underground, it's almost completely like blank backgrounds.
Like gray.
Yeah, so like I can imagine what Oasis is doing and seeing. And, like, because he's swimming through it, but why is Bruno opening zippers and closing zippers? What is that supposed to be?
It's weird because, Oasis' whole thing that he softens the ground around him, that's why he can swim, where Bruno is going through solid... The closer he gets, the softer he gets, but he is still, like, walking through, like, there's nothing there. It's really weird.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Unless he has that weird, like, negative zone kind of space.
That he's able to fit into, like, mallet space, whatever they call it.
Yeah, he has a weird pocket dimension thing he goes through. I don't know.
But, like, because the way that they portray it, and they portray it several times in the anime, is him running, opening, and jumping through zippers. So he's constantly opening and jumping through zippers.
Yeah.
And to me, it just is confusing looking. And, like, the parts that I really like about the fight near the end are when Oasis learns new techniques and starts doing cool shit.
Yeah, I said
that's awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. This is like they really subvert your expectations with just you learn the basics first, but then they kind of like expand on them. Which
to me, it seems like Oasis does like some of the most clever stand development within like an arc, especially just this one episode. He figures he seems to be able to learn that he can just do it to anything. He can just any matter he can just soften.
People, yeah. Then he also has that he spits like the mud and it hardens up because that was pavement, so we just go back to its original state. It
is kind of cool thinking how even within this part we've got two characters that can quote unquote soften things, but the way that it's used is completely different. Like Trish's, it almost like rubberizes it.
Yeah.
Whereas his, it like turns it into a liquid, kind of similar to a Demo.
Yeah. Very much. Right? Yeah, Demo. Yeah. Demo's vitamin C. So yeah, very much. So yeah, we get basically the first whole episode. It's like them trying to go up the moles, running away from the mole, while this is also like chasing them, video cam, like recording them. You get a brief shot of like. Of the 2-0. The 2-0. The 2-0. They are 2-0. I like that. I like that word. The
2-0 of Misto and Bruno.
Yes. And then, there's a shot of Misto's like gun like shooting out of the ground and him catching it with like Sex Pistols like carrying. I love that.
The idea that the gun like perfectly shot, like the recoil of the gun being shot, like propelled it back up was awesome.
And you get the weird like love duo thing, kind of like how many other characters had, but it's more like a master servant thing.
Yeah, it's...
That weird like pose where you're kind of doing like anal to him, he's like on these like on all fours, he's like perfectly aligned. Like it's so like ridiculous. It's amazing.
It is. I do really. That was the thing that I think I turned around the most on was I didn't really care about Seko too much.
He didn't. Yeah.
But I think like the development they give him, at least maybe I think voice acting adds so much. Like the voice acting he had really made me connect to him. Like. His desperation and how he like completely turned on Chocolata, kind of, but you can tell that he clearly still like he needs
a little bit. Yeah,
he needs to be reined in by something.
I do love the thing of like he didn't need him at all. Like he just did it because it fitted him. It would have benefited him the most. But so yeah, the whole thing, Bruno like being the weird corpse he is, and like being immune to the mold, which that's getting hammered in more.
Yeah, so we actually had a brief discussion about that because we were unsure and we're still inconclusive. So, dear listeners, if you happen to know, if anyone's read it recently, so I believe it was Seko, who makes a comment about Notorious B.I.G. and how Green Day didn't work on Notorious B.I.G.
Or it wouldn't work
because it was dead.
Yeah,
and that's how he figures out that Bruno is dead because it's not working on Bruno. Well, I don't remember if him referencing Big was a manga original or an anime original thing. So if you happen to know, please tell me.
Yeah, I couldn't find out, but I mean, just because I couldn't, I looked at the difference list and that wasn't on there, so I'm assuming it wasn't.
Yeah.
So yeah. Then the second episode, is more so about the green. It's called Mista and Giorno versus Chocolata.
Yeah, Chocolata,
chocolate, right?
Green Day. Yeah, chocolate.
Okay, I want to say anything a chocolate dish or something.
And Seko, I should have looked it up.
Well, I have the picture. I have a picture of like all the chibi characters like on top of their food. So I always
because I think it's like reference. Wine, right? Like Prosecco.
Is it Prosecco?
Well, because I know Prosecco is like Spanish wine.
Okay.
Secco Peach Bellini.
See, that's weird. They have him like in like a human costume on the picture. It's like,
Seko is popular stewed meat plate served in Peru and Ecuador. Oh, well, that doesn't sound very Italian.
The chibi outfit looks really weird because they didn't put him in his Oasis costume. I never seen him with like any art of him.
That doesn't look familiar to me at all.
Oh, Chocolata's it's like chocolate, the like white chocolate or like that little square ones. It look like they're showing pictures.
Okay, like the little chocolate bonbons.
But so yeah, we get him. So we had Green Day. It was my favorite bands of all time. That's what really got me excited. Like, oh man, I'm getting a stand on like my favorite band of all time, and this is like '98, so probably I think it's called their last album. Probably no, Redundant came out 2000. Warning came out 2000, so it's between that and probably Nimrod.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. But didn't they take they just took the green part? It's like okay, we need like this weird green mold, which I guess the anime should have made it a little bit greener. The mold.
Yeah, it's just I don't think it looked good. It looked weird to me. And every time it was like kind of moving, they're doing the moving thing, it just looked weird.
Also Chocolato's like weird Joker face too.
I absolutely love Chocolata's design. I think it's really good. When I first saw it, I was like,
He's like a weird he's got like a weird jester hair, like a jester hat hair.
He's a big cross on his chest. He's got like smaller crosses.
He was Poochie
throughout his design.
He's like borrowed Poochie's outfits.
It's actually funny you say that because when I think I saw an alternate color someone did of him, and I thought it was Poochie for a sec because they did like the dark purple with the gold that Poochie is portrayed in.
And I love his design too. Like the stand design of Green
Day. Green Day does look really neat. He definitely doesn't look like other stands.
He does that thing that they have what's his name that Grateful Dead does, where it's like this weird looking stand, but it had just lets out the
it's like an
mist,
aura, yeah,
the mist or the aura, and it's just like brutal. So yeah, then we get the probably my favorite thing is like they get a helicopter, and you just throw a dead body out of the helicopter to spread. Because people debate, are these like the evilest JoJo villains ever, or at least Chocolata is.
Chocolata is definitely the most sociopathic.
Because
sociopath or psychopath.
Let's talk about his backstory now. Like,
yes.
Because you go about like him being the doctor, like, the angel of death kind of thing, where like he would like kill the patients, but keep them alive, like anesthesia.
He would torture, do like bodily torture. And he worked in an old folks home for a bit and would just like do horrible things and just like a total nut job.
So we were going to talk about this earlier in the episode, but you get a small part of Doppio on the plane talking to King Crimson, aka the ball.
I like that. I really like that part.
But there's a thing where you think like, I guess I got those two to take care of it. I know this evil like mob boss hates these two guys that work under him, and it's just so fun.
And it's kind of cool too at this point of the story because he's already used everyone else. So this is like literally the last people left. Like these monsters.
Yeah, and Doppio using like the toy phone, I love.
Yeah, Doppio the toy phone is really funny.
But yeah, just like I just love the fact that this evil guy hates he thinks these people are despicable monsters. Yeah. Like it says something with these characters.
And he's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all, no. He wants to live a quiet life without anyone knowing his identity. But now, even if he did wins against the guy, what does he have left of his mob for the most part? He misses like all guards and hitmen and like.
Yeah, and literally everyone's dead. Pulpo.
I mean, just other mob.
Yeah, of course there's other like squads, but
still. But yeah, so we basically go back and. Yeah, the whole doctor thing, then they record everything, and then Seko, like, just enjoyed being there for the ride, so he kind of just dragged him along. They had the whole sugar cube thing with, like...
Which is actually awesome foreshadowing, because we see how, like, precise he is with his ability.
Yeah.
Where he's able to...
Or his movement.
Yeah, his movement and ability, where he's able to, like, shoot things out of the air, and then later on we see him, like, eating mud and then shooting it in the air. Like...
Yeah.
I just think that's a really good parallel. Like, obviously, this was written... 2 decades ago, but you know what I mean.
So, but yeah, I guess we have the we get to Rome and they have their other feast. Like they get the shot of Mista and Giorno holding the gun together, even though Giorno's like a mile apart. So just to him, like, because I think they're like locked in there. They've been
sunk in the ground.
Yeah, before that they showed like they cannot get it unless something under them like breaks them out. And like Giorno somehow slides over to like so many like art of his legs of like being like bent like super like long.
I forget who that is. I think it might be Dorito Meatbag or something like that. Whatever.
You can just Google it, you'll find it.
Maybe I'll include the picture if I... No, I won't. But it's hilarious because, yeah, as you said, there's no possible way that Giorno could have walked over. But it is, like, the greatest part of Part 5.
Yeah, they split off as, like, Mista and Giorno. Mista kind of gets... shoots himself as Mista does.
Several times,
the best image of Fist of the North Star where he shows like an arrow at him. He catches it in the throat of Mista, with Giorno watching next to him. So yeah, so we get his final bullet, and then we get the whole like tree catching the helicopter and that whole thing. So the coolest part of this is you get another one of like the bullet like. Commentating or like just talking to
one of the bullets becomes our narrator.
He's number 4 again.
Yeah,
it's always number 4
of course.
So yeah,
well, you mean
Number four.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Because 4 is unlucky.
Technically, he is number 4.
He is technically, yes. He would have been number 4.
Technically wrong. So yeah, then you have the whole helicopter standoff, which my coolest image. I love him just like using like. This is what I say, virtual expectation, because he can use the mold on himself to break away. Yeah. And, like, rip up in parts. You see the spinal cord hanging around.
Yeah, seeing his, like, spinal cord, like, flapping around is so creepy. I love that, actually.
It's like a weird, like, horseshoe crab, like, tail, like, the spinal cord looking like. That kind of weird freakiness.
Yeah, that is really another example how cool, how these stands really do kind of just go out all the way out. Like, they pull out all the stops. You see a lot of really crazy things.
We got our first and only helicopter in Jojo, so... I guess there was a helicopter in part 3 when you deliver Iggy, but this is the first thing that you take.
Doesn't the helicopter like immediately get destroyed by Gebs?
Yeah, after he chops them off.
Stand users just destroy everything that flies.
You should not be a civilian in the Jojo.
Nah, you're fucked, dude.
Not even so. Yeah, the whole thing, the standoff. Then they get. Yeah, Giorno wins because Giorno does.
Yeah, Giorno.
The whole exchange of like him like when he's like playing dead and everything. Like, these conversations they have with each other.
Yeah, so that part is awesome. But one thing I love is like how fucked up Giorno gets. Like Giorno even explains like when he's kind of being a badass, he's like, I have like 3 broken arms and like 4 broken legs, and my pelvis is.
He can grow a new one.
10 pieces, yeah, of course.
He'll grow a new one.
Yeah, he will, but like...
He'll take it out of the block and just place a new thing in there. Yes. Like, oh, my pelvis is fixed.
He rips his whole pelvis off, and yeah.
I turned this rock into a pelvis.
I don't remember it happening before, but I do like that when the pistols do get killed, Mista just starts like gushing blood from like every hole in his body. And like all these... I thought that was pretty funny.
Of course, Mista has to get fucked up in more ways than others, so as long as not every like pistol's dead, like he'll bleed profusely but be fine.
And he does suffer the most, I think, out of anyone.
Because he lives with the most bullet holes in him than anyone else. Yes. He shot himself with so many bullets and doesn't have any scars. Like, I guess Gold Experience can like peel the scars up.
Yeah, just rip off the flesh and put a new one on.
He laid another bullet hole in the side of his head because of like his pistol. I guess with his pistols, he gets shot, he'll just get like a bullet hole from that pistol.
Yeah.
So... But yeah, we get the whole standoff of Giorno's speech to him, and...
Oh, sorry, wait, hold on, one thing. We kind of skipped over it really quick, but I want to talk about, like, probably one of the most extreme times of Giorno, just, like, changing something 3 times. So,
the bullet?
So it starts out as a bullet.
Yes.
And then it turns into...
A branch.
A branch.
That he shoots into the helicopter blade that's spinning above it, that shoots it back into a bullet into...
Yes, and through his face.
Yes.
And he of course, as we know, Chocola's playing dead.
Because everybody getting shot in the head for the most part, and like linger there for a while or be okay. I mean, Mista does it.
I mean, he probably just filled it with mold anyway. Like, as we've seen, mold is just like the cure-all. Like, it immediately reattaches your arm and also sews the clothing back up. So,
hey, 2 stands that can do whatever the fuck they want, I guess. That's why they had a fight, and then that's when we get the equivalent of the 7-page Muda of like the 45 to a minute.
Was it? I thought it was like 30 seconds.
I thought it was like 45. I think someone said the time of it. I think it was like around 45.
Well, we're gonna play it 4 times in a row, then you count.
No, so somebody will comment the exact time.
Yeah,
but. So yeah, we get that in satisfying different angles. We get the
which I love. The remakes, it fills me with like so much life whenever Giorno rees.
I mean, the fact this episode had like a credit for the Muda team, and
that's if you're unaware, there was an entire section in the credits that was like 5? It was like 5 or 7 guys.
Yeah,
that just worked on the Muda sequence.
And then there was also the voice actor thing on Twitter posted like the script of the scene, and it was just like the same Muda. Like,
I wanted to see that. I never saw that.
It's really funny. So yeah, and then he gets knocked into the trash where he belongs.
Yes, trash picked up on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, we missed one. So yeah, so the bullet that was a branch, that was a bullet, turns into a stag beetle. And
it was like an emperor stag or something like that. Something that Jobin would.
Jobin is getting hard in the future in another timeline.
So basically, he only talked to him just so it would grow.
I'm sorry, it wasn't a bullet. It was a piece of the propeller. Which also, I love that no other time has he needed to like have the organism go through its entire life cycle except now. Like, why didn't he just make it grow?
so he can speak. I guess he does because he makes a turtle from like a full adult turtle. So I guess he can choose at what state, but he does it instantaneously before the turtle. Or this one, he has to make it grow from a larva to. Like, it takes actually a long amount of time. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's been talked about before. It's just like shonen, your standard shonen. Ramping up the suspense, keeping the suspense.
I talked about it plenty of times where his stand is the most ass-pulley stand in general.
It is, and this is one of those moments that I was really thinking of, like, wow, yeah, like, so Gold Experience, like, works off of Gold Experience things touching each other. Like,
I guess.
The stand's range is incredible compared to what it should be, because something that's affected by Gold Experience can just affect something else. With Giorno's brain, I guess. Giorno's brain can just, like, tell it to do.
It's just, like... It's up there with Star Platinum for like, stuff a Stan can do. Like a weird expansion of stuff he can do.
Also, so we're jumping ahead, too, because we see the funny part where he falls into the dumpster truck. And then later on, Sanctuary, Oasis, he also tumbles in comedically into it. So they didn't die.
Well, no, Chocolate's dead. And
I don't think
so. Dead.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure Chocolate's dead, and just like him being weird, like, oh, hi, and not really seeing him, because it's probably all dark in there, so he's probably just like...
Hey, if they don't die on screen...
I'm pretty sure the stag beetle erupting, and the shot, and the punches, and the garbage compactor going down. But again, I mean, in a light novel, also, I mean, what's it called? What's his name? Who was that the first thing they fought on the boat?
Sail? Wait, no, not Sail, the other one. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I mean, I'm pretty sure both of them are still alive, though, in a light novel.
Yes. So, Even though Sail definitely shouldn't be, like, a fucking vegetable.
One's a head, one's, like, probably blind. I'm not sure how I don't know, that's just how it is in...
I will never remember that guy's name.
I think it's probably back.
The guy in the boat's name, and I would never fucking care.
Who cares?
He's like one of my least
He got tortured. Dance.
That's all that matters. It's the only thing that we need to know about him.
Okay, I guess we're talking about the third part now with the Oasis part. Which, okay, let's talk about Oasis. So, what do you like the design of Oasis? Like the weird, like the suit stand?
I'm really torn. I like the idea of the aesthetic, and I like the stitches going over parts of the body, but in practice, I don't know. I think it just depends on how he's drawn. Someone posted a picture from the manga where Araki drew him like with a huge ass. It's hilarious.
I mean, you have huge ass shots in this.
There's a lot, but I think so. For me, this last episode, Green Tea and Sanctuary Part 3 had some of the like coolest animation and also some of the worst. It was very inconsistent. Some of the parts I was just like, what is even happening? But then the other parts, mostly with like him swimming when Seko was like swimming through the dirt and the concrete, I thought was really cool looking.
Mm-hmm. But also, like, I think compared to the White Album, is not nearly as cool as like a suit stand as it.
No, I agree.
Because White Album works so cool, like so good as like a weird like roller skater, like speed skater kind of costume.
Yeah, it looks like that. Where if you're thinking of like a swimmer. If you look at how much extraneous things are on his body...
He kind of has the cap on, like the swimming cap, and I guess maybe that's what he was kind of going for. I don't know.
I think he just wanted to draw something kind of like horror-inspired.
I guess.
Because it's got like the whole doctor connotation with experimentation and
they are like
stitches.
Those Angels of Death kind of figures in history.
Yeah.
But I also like Oasis. I don't like Oasis the band at all.
I like that one song...
not Wonderwall?
Not Wonderwall. What's it called? Don't Look Back in Anger. That one's pretty good. Wonderwall, the first time I heard it, I liked it.
I like the Wonderwall, the Wonderwall, like the Neil Cicierega remix of it.
Wonderwall, yeah. Wonderwall. Neil Cicierega has some incredible covers of Wonderwall. Our
outro theme for this episode.
Maybe. So yeah, I really dug, I think the voice actor did a really good job with Seko, because he gets a lot of monologues. Especially when he's listening to the voicemails. Yeah. I thought that he did a lot to bring that character to life in a neat way.
You get the whole thing with, like, Chaco saying he loved him.
Yes.
But he just, like, saying, like, you're weak, I hate your guts, like, you're dumb.
Yeah, that's so... That's so interesting, and it's dropped so quickly. But to think, like, that... Chocolate's, like, horrible sense of affection and like his twisted worldview. He thinks that like that is love. Like what he's doing is so creepy.
Yeah. It's like the different dynamics of every like duo in this part. It's always interesting.
Except like, yeah, we said before how like this is the point I wanted to make earlier. So the other duo, the last duo that we had,
Clash and Talking Head.
Yeah, Clash and Talking Head. Araki paired them up pretty like the band titles.
Yeah,
because like those are like new wave.
I told you
at the same time
they were kind of based off Enigma cover albums of them being like, very intimate, and I guess that was more so like a lover pair anyway, which is like different than like kind of the other pairs we've got. But
but like they're both kind of like new wavy bands. Like people, I think a lot of people consider Clash punk, but they're also like new wavy. But it's funny, Green Day and Oasis. I think like I wouldn't immediately connect them together.
Well, one's a punk band, one's kind of a sappy. Like
a rock,
light rock,
like a rock band, not light rock. Sorry,
I don't know.
You misheard me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, as I said, I don't really like Oasis too much, but I think it's just funny pairing.
Yeah,
because like the other pairings were like kind of
Clash and Talking Head. Yeah, I guess.
I think that one makes a lot of sense.
Grateful Dead and Beach Boy though.
Yeah, that one's. I guess they both got kind of like a... No, I don't know.
It's like a psychedelic like rock, like one of the biggest like psychedelic rock bands of the 70s, and then you have
Beachy,
the 1950s beach music that's before Jimmy Buffett. Like they gave Jimmy Buffett inspiration to like...
Proto Buffett.
Yeah. He like, before they owned every like Lazy Rivers theme song to play around there, and then Jimmy Buffett came around and ruined it. So, but yeah, then we also... But during this fight, I love the Sticky Fingers applications though, like...
Yeah, so like the one part... Attack? Yeah, the one part when they're fighting on the pole is like awesome. It's so cool. The different applications of Sticky Fingers, because of course we know Bruno's time is numbered. As we can see, he's getting fucked up in this fight, and he's already pretty much resigned himself to like, I'm dead already. Like I have one goal, and I will give my body. It's like anyway, which is awesome.
Throat gets slit.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
But like, he's fine. But yeah, so basically the pole splitting, the pincer attack, you get like him cutting up like the light poles up into pieces and making them rain down into the soft. It was just some really cool stuff that like he just does with it. He makes like the little like pocket space like he does the glass, and then he like puts the glass down and like puts the portal underneath, so he like loses them. Like,
yeah, cool. Which that made me think so much of Funny Valentine.
Yeah,
because it isn't a condition for him to do Sticky Fingers, but it really reminded me.
It's a cool thing to do.
Yeah,
just to freak him out, I guess. So yeah, and then we get the stand fight like mostly underground for the most part. We'll talk about the pawn rush stuff at the end. I think that'll be the last thing to cover. Right, like the teases. But yeah, so he kind of copies him, get the whole chase scene. Jim, that like the animation is kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that really can be done well. If they were, I don't know Rome so well. Like I've never been there. I'm assuming like a lot of older European cities, there's probably some sort of catacombs or something underneath. If it had shown him like going through catacombs or sewers, that would have made more sense.
I'm not sure if Italy has catacombs. I know Paris has catacombs, but I'm not sure about Italy.
Yeah, but I'm just assuming because it's so old. Because we see, the only other scene I remember seeing that showed a background was in like one of the earlier episodes, Oasis is sitting in a tunnel that it looks like he made.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that there's nothing under, but then it's just weird when Bruno's just chilling in like, as we're seeing now, just gray and black backgrounds.
If anybody knows architecture, feel free to let us know if there's any
yes,
catacombs under Rome.
Yeah, please tell me.
So, but also, what's it called? One thing I thought was hilarious. He actually called like his stand zipper guy. Like it's not like a translation thing.
I laughed so hard.
He didn't say sticky fingers. He actually said zipper guy.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
He literally said the U.S. translation of it. I thought it was hilarious. So yeah, then the fight happens, and then it basically accumulates with like getting the car and him exploding like the tire to like destroy his eardrums and just like...
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I don't really quite get what's happening in that.
He kept like liquefying everything.
Yeah, no. I get like
but I guess the sound would have like been that louder like underground though, or maybe because it's liquid
underwater. I guess
it's like a bomb exploding like underwater. Because I guess it's kind of what the aesthetic they're going for, but.
Dude, I don't know. It just did that. That's the one thing in Jojo. This is one of those things that just never makes sense to me. I don't understand why the tires exploding made his ears explode. Because I definitely know people who've been near tires that explode and their ears didn't fucking die.
I know. It's a weird thing, but I did love him getting like his hearing, like his whole like his gimmick of like just how he tracks people. But then I just love him going up out of under the ground and getting his leg immediately run over.
Yeah, that part. Oh, that made me cringe when I saw that. I was like, oh,
it is very brutal, and then it's just the end of like. He basically just like I think he have another standoff with him, and then he just like gets like beat up and then thrown into or he trips into the trash compactor.
Yeah, he kind of almost walks into it himself because at that point he's like disoriented and fucked up from Bruno.
Yeah, and then basically Bruno's
something that I totally forgot about.
The hostage thing.
Yeah, it was Doppio.
the tourist hat Doppio.
Yeah,
which I'm guessing because it's the manga. Like if he had the hat on, you couldn't 100% tell it was Doppio. But in the anime, like, oh, that's Doppio.
Yeah, I saw someone posted the screenshot of it, and there's a scene in the manga that they didn't quite have where there's a close up on Doppio's face, and he kind of gives like this like totally agitated expression, like he's like, I don't fucking have time for this shit. Like I have to get to the Coliseum right now with my silly tourist hat.
But Bruno's right here. If I give out my, just use, it's gonna give away everything and make everything more complicated.
But that part is so awesome when
he reverse donuts Doppio and hits Seko to like zip his neck and his hand together or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's like bleeding out, but he just like tied his hands, so he's kind of freaking out.
And that whole thing with I like how even Doppio is like, yeah, I used Epitaph, and then he's like, even without using Epitaph, I know that Bucciarati would never kill an innocent because he's that good of a guy.
He probably just saw like a hand, like the hand through his chest, and that's all he saw, and it kind of like how he just saw him with like his head missing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so and then the episode end was like Doppio was like the King Crimson hand like forming like above him.
Yeah.
And then, but where we know we're going, no one else knows. So yeah, I think really good.
Yeah, it was. I think
I really like the Green Day stuff more so than the Oasis stuff. But
I agree.
I did like the last part of the Oasis battle a lot.
Yeah, the whole part with Doppio was just awesome because I literally gasped because I totally forgot, and I was like, Doppio, you're here! Holy shit!
Also, what do you think of the Polnareff teases in it?
They were good. I got excited because I fucking love Polnareff.
I mean, there's a bunch of just him with the binoculars and Pierce's ear. Oh my god, is that him? Is that our boy? And then you get the little like. I mean, this is the third episode. You get the back. You get thinking like, oh, I was in Egypt and everything. Yeah. I got this arrow. I guess he took a souvenir with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny thing.
But yeah, so we didn't go into the whole backstory completely yet. Luckily.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's probably me next because the next episode is called his name is Diavolo, right?
Yeah, and that's basically it's going to be him doing the famous shirt taking off thing, which I'm excited to see.
Yes, I cannot wait for that.
And then we might get the backstory of him. Maybe we got the fight of him and Diavolo.
Yes.
Wait, do you prefer the Diavolo or Diavolo?
Diavolo, right? Diavolo doesn't sound right to me.
Those are two ways I always hear people pronounce it. It's
like how before movies happened, people weren't sure if his name was pronounced Magneto or Magneto. Did you know that?
I mean,
for years there was like a debate whether it was Magneto or Magneto.
People also call him Magnus.
Magnus?
Yeah, he gave him by the name of Magnus at one point. But yeah, this thing's really good. I'm excited to see like the Polnareff. Like, I'm excited to see this whole clusterfuck of an ending happen. Like I said plenty of times, I'm excited for it to coming up.
Because there's like a lot left. Like
39 episodes. We're going to be at 32, so we got like 6 or 7 episodes.
And that's pretty much like this is it. Like the sun's going to come up, I think, and this is it. Like this is the final day, which is exciting.
Yes, and I'm excited to see how people react to this. Like, so we saw the mood, got that out of the way. We got the Polnareff stuff out of the way. I'm just excited to see just people think of this ending. Because it is, I think it's kind of, I don't know, people like it's kind of, I'm not a fan of the ending too much of this. Like, I think it's weird.
I like it a lot. I mean, obviously, you have a whole Gold Experience, Requiem. That's a big, like, can of worms in itself. But everything, like, leading up to that is really cool.
Right, I like part 5, but the ending is kind of mad to me.
I think you might like it more when you see it animated.
That's why I'm, like, excited to watch. It's like, seeing this again, like, it's been a while since I read it.
Yeah, so. I'm really excited to see Diavolo's like death because to me that's like the coolest thing. It has the potential for like being a really cool visual where he's like constantly experiencing death. Like he's constantly in these situations where he's about to die.
Yeah, the OVA just be like a 23 minute like
just him dying.
Yeah,
that would be so cool. I would love that. And it goes into like his character and stuff. That'd be cool.
People still think they're gonna get like Purple Haze feedback OVAs.
I could totally see it as an OVA.
I can see it too. But
David Pro is gonna run out of JoJo one day. They're gonna run out of JoJo to adapt, so they're gonna have to go through all the the side material.
They'll have plenty. They have to take 2 seasons for like parts 7 and 8. So
yeah.
So yeah, very good episodes. I think pretty good. I think I think 3/4 of them I really enjoyed, but there was stuff I wasn't as keen on.
Yeah, I agree. I think with the anime adaptations, you're always going to get a slightly inferior experience to reading the manga.
I mean, we liked the manga version of White Album, but we didn't like the anime version of that.
Yeah, that one sucked for me. I really wasn't happy about that. Because obviously I don't want the anime to be bad, but when I was watching that whole fight, the pacing felt really weird. I think that for sometimes like that, their slavish devotion on just recreating every panel in the manga isn't a great idea.
I had a gut feeling it would end up because just like it's constantly moving, and the figure skating thing I knew was going to be weird looking.
Thankfully, it wasn't all CG'd.
Yeah, so that's the worst thing. It's going to be 100% like CG for the most part.
Yeah, the thing, even with as I have my problems with Sekko and Oasis in this episode, but the scenes where he's like going ham, swimming through the concrete, look really good. Like the visuals of like the concrete being all like bubbly around him, like a pool. I just thought was really impressive.
Yeah, I just really like this part where like the stands, like you get the basics of what their thing does, but then they kind of expand, and I just love that for JoJo, where you kind of take one thing and then just go. They do that a lot for this part, especially. Like you remember the Hitman team, like Little Feet. Or Little Feet. And
yes.
He, like people call me, like, they showed him, like, doing assassination by, like, shrinking the car and, like, growing it in.
Making the man inflate. Yeah.
Yeah, where Babyface was, like kind of one note and, like, whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
But he does a lot of good jobs doing, like, subverting expectations for his stands in this. So, that's my big takeaway for this part.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to talk about in the episode?
Not particularly. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I poo-poo on JoJo, it's because I like it a lot.
You care.
It's because I care. And when I see things that I think could be better, I'm always like, eh. But, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait until 2048 when JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Brotherhood gets animated and they redo everything again.
That's not gonna happen. You get one good one, you're gonna be good.
I was kind of thinking about this. So I brought it up earlier. With the JoJo anime, they always prioritize sticking to the manga, and you'll see, like, obviously, part 4 is one of the biggest art style changes within the manga. They went with like more towards like the middle to later end, but they try to keep things really consistent, looking like the manga. How would you feel if when they adapted JoJo, they took like a very different approach where they didn't just try and recreate the manga, but they took the story beats and then built it to be something that would be more visual, that would work better in a visual thing like anime rather than manga? Because as we said, like White Album is one of the examples where as a manga, it works so much better because the sense of time is distorted when you're reading a manga.
I don't know, because it's weird, because B.I.G. I didn't think the stand fight was great, but like the anime did it because it was a good suspenseful one, so the anime did it a lot better.
So basically, here's my pitch. Let me try and make it easier. So imagine the White Album fight, but it's like 15 minutes, not even, it's like 10 minutes of just all action with no explanations. Like, they don't explain all their motivations. They don't have interior monologues.
It's not JoJo if they don't do that, though. So
That's true.
I kind of wouldn't like, because, I'm actually going from reading it and watching it, like, so I'm loving because it's such a good adaptation where I probably wouldn't be up for that kind of stuff. It wouldn't be JoJo without the monologue, the talking.
That's true.
Half the fun is just them coming out. I mean, Bruno does, I got you, no, I actually got you, Oasis. Like this is what really happened. Like, oh, okay.
To me, like, those parts are really fun, but it also is something that works better in manga when the sense of time is kind of dilated.
But they do a good thing in this where they play the theme like over them doing their explanation into them beating them. It's I don't know.
As I said, the voice acting and the music, as you mentioned, are things that really can elevate the anime. So yeah, I guess that's my podcast question of the week, viewer. If you could, not saying that we have to like get rid of the current JoJo we have, that's because David Production, as I said, are really focused on trying to be as faithful as possible, only changing things when they think it's a good change in the story. How would you feel if we got like a crazy, more fast-paced version of JoJo?
A crazy, bizarre town JoJo.
Or maybe not even, like, as I said, like, story beats. Like, just go through the story beats, maybe make something, like, imagine all of Part 5 in, like, a 12-episode anime.
No. There's too many, like, I mean, just cut out some...
You could cut out some of the less. I think you could do it and make just something really, really snappy, just, like...
I don't know. I wouldn't like it that much.
Interesting. I feel like I'm on the fence. I'm someone who really likes snappiness. And some of my complaints I'm noticing, because this is the first time that I've read the manga before watching the anime. Mm-hmm. So this is the first time where I'm really noticing, like, oh, this feels different. This feels perhaps not as great in an anime medium, in the medium of anime that it does in manga. But yeah, sorry. I'm just wasting time.
Alright, this is a good idea, but I don't know. So I guess that's it, right? So
yes.
We're not sure about. So the end part is kind of weird. We're not sure when the next episode will be.
Oh, we're not?
No, because like it's weird. The next episode, the Coliseum thing. You're not sure about like the entire Coliseum stuff. Should we just like cut it from like Silver Chariot and then the end part, like that kind of thing where we're gonna cut these, like where we're gonna be cutting them at?
Yeah, because this potentially could be the second to last episode,
or it could be the third to last. Because you could just do like the weird Requiem stuff, and then the whole like last 2 episodes probably will be that other Requiem stuff.
Let's make a executive, what do they call it? Executive declaration when it happens.
Yeah. So I'm thinking there's gonna be 2 episodes for the last part. That's my guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we could probably split it in half. Because there kind of is like that part where they regroup in the Coliseum after the first fight.
Yeah.
I think, that could be like a natural stopgap.
We'll see what the episode does. Yes. Remember, because they did some weird stoppage before with all the White Album stuff where it kind of threw us off for that. So.
And there could also be Rolling Stone.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they still haven't done that yet.
So yeah, I just actually remembered that. Do you think that is episode 39? Do you think we're only going to get 33, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? So it could be a 6-parter. No, not 6-parter. I mean, like, the finale, quote-unquote, will be 6 episodes, and then the 7th would be Rolling Stone, and just don't do it.
I think
just make it an OVA.
I think make Rolling Stone an OVA.
It's such a terrible ending for... Because, like, Part 5's ending is, like, the ending. There's an ending to it.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones is, like, a weird, like, a side prequel.
Unless it's, like, a weird thing while he's being, like, carried to the Coliseum that he talks about, like, kind of flashbacks towards it.
Huh, that could work.
You kind of cut back and forth between them, him being carried, and
they could insert it really janky, because it also, the thing is, like, it would spoil Narancia's death. Because isn't that the whole thing? It shows all the characters that die. Because it shows Bruno's death mask, it shows Abakio's death mask. I believe it shows... It's just not...
See, I think I pushed Rolling Stones to the back of my head. So.
Same.
I love, like, it's such a waste of a good band name for a stan.
Yeah, I just...
Don't take it quite literally sometimes, Araki.
Yeah, whatever. Alright, this has been going a little long.
Yeah. So, okay, if you don't like Jim's question, that could be your question. Where do you think they can shove in Rolling Stone with an OVA, very last episode, or just kind of trinkle it in somewhere in between there?
Trinkle it in.
So.
I would prefer an OVA, because I think it legitimately is enough content, because I think it's, 4 or 5 parts?
Is it? I can't
5 chapters?
I pushed it out of my head.
How crazy am I? I'll look it up real quick before we leave.
Real person. I literally like regressed it in my head. Because it literally caught me off guard after reading part 5. Okay, finally that's over. Wait, what is this crap?
It is really weird. Maybe it wasn't 5.
I thought it was just like 1 or maybe 2 chapters.
Sleeping Slaves, epilogue. So Sleeping Slaves is a 5-part.
5 parts, wow.
5 chapters, yes. So, damn.
Could be an OVA.
That definitely could be fit into an OVA.
So, alright.
So yeah, all right. This needs to be ended. All right.
Anything else?
No, we need to wrap this up. It's going too long. I feel like.
Well, thank you very much for listening.
Wait, no, we have to do plugs first.
I was going to do that. That's why I do that. To thank you for listening. I take care of the plugs. You don't.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
Not for the most part, unless you correct me on something, which you usually do. But so yeah, if you like that, please like, comment, subscribe.
Hell yeah!
Thank you for subscribing. Actually, we actually hit 200, which is huge.
We did actually on YouTube. So now this is a podcast that exists in several places. This is a little plug. We're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, and we're on Spotify.
Yeah, Jim did heavy work, so thank him for that.
Also, I'll say this again, because we didn't get too many, but if you like the podcast, even if you don't use iTunes, it'd be awesome if you went on iTunes and gave us a review. By the way, the podcast we do is only the Jokakakas. No part 5 and parts, it's just the monthly Jokakakas on iTunes.
The part 8 stuff.
Yeah, just give us a review. It really helps. Reviewing on iTunes really, really helps. So, yeah, sorry.
If you're a current manga reader, too, we have our Jokakaka on those various platforms you can listen to.
Yes, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, we discuss the part 8 chapters every month, except for hiatus months. We usually have something special for that, if that happens.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of fun things to do, because we haven't had a hiatus in a bit.
Yeah.
We're due for one soon.
We're due for one soon. Who knows? We'll think of something. And then we also have... if you like Hunter x Hunter, we have some Hunter x Hunter discussions podcasts about each arc. Greed Island, hopefully be done soon. I am 15 chapters left.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're near the very end of Greed Island,
yes.
So...
I am very near to Greed Island, so we'll have that one. That will probably be 2 hours, because we go very long for those.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk about that one.
So, and then...
I can't wait for the Chimera Ant one. It's going to be like 4 hours. We're going to have to split it. We're going to have to split that one up into 2 recordings, I think.
So, and then any other thing you want to plug in there? Or that I missed?
No, I think you got it. Thank you so much for listening. As we said, 200 subscribers. It just blows my mind that anyone just cares to listen to let's talk about Jojo.
I know, even if some of those are bots, maybe, who knows?
I'm sure that a lot of the early ones were bots, but I think because I see a lot of the subscribers pop up and a lot of like Jojo
pictures.
Yeah, profile pictures. So I can tell you.
So it means a lot. Like if you have people like, oh, 200 is nothing. It means a lot to just people who like didn't think to get anyone more than just like 2.
It is really funny to think, because like I'm sure there's so many other YouTubers. I looked it up before because I was kind of curious how many like 100K YouTubers there are, and there's like
for Jojo.
No, for just in general. Like just I was curious because like that's 100K is like the big milestone, and there's like a lot. Like I think there might be like 100,000 or so. It's the amount of 100K subscribers is big. So for us having 200, it's not much, but hey.
Hey man,
this is the audience that I was hoping to get. So.
I mean, yeah, we get people that comment too, like just like me crazy.
Yes,
and a lot.
I love your comments. I read every single one, and even if I don't respond to them all, I love reading the comments. They always make me so happy.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for everything. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Just it just never thought that I never thought like that should be like that. You know. So.
Onward, 100K next up.
Just trying to get to.
I think 500 is the next milestone.
500 sounds
in my head.
500's good, man, I think.
Yeah, I guess. I don't care. I mean, I do care.
What's our 500 special gonna be? Watching the...
I think we'll have a...
watching the... watch the 80s OVA, maybe.
Stardust Crusaders 90s OVA.
90s OVA. It looks like an 80s
Yeah, it does. It has 80s aesthetic. I really do want to watch them, though. Because, I'm curious.
Yeah. So we'll think of some special, maybe for hiatus months, whenever that happens. Who knows? Do the hiatus episodes, would those be uploaded to iTunes and all this? Because did you upload the Diesel one?
No, so far there's only the most recent 2 are on.
Okay.
I don't think I will post the hiatus ones on there.
Okay.
Unless I think it's a really good one, maybe I will. But I'd like to keep that feed just Jokakaka.
Or maybe do like Rohan OVAs, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or OVA mangas we may put on there.
Maybe.
Because I don't know. They're
pretty relevant.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, yeah, whatever. We'll talk about this later. I'm sorry this episode went so long, but
good.
I just was excited.
It was a long part or animated part, so
yes.
I'm not surprised. But thank you very much for listening.
Bye.